everyone, welcome to this video. You're watching IT Fungama and this is Ashita here, and today we will be doing some baking. And if you're new to our channel, please subscribe and hit that little bell icon next to it so that you're notified every time we come up with new videos. In this video, we are making vanilla sponge cake, but an eggless one. And sponge cakes are a favorite for everyone, and a lot of people are vegetarians, so an eggless sponge cake is a perfect option. The ingredients I'm going to give you is going to be for a 7-inch round cake baking tray, and you're going to need 1 cup of yogurt, and I'm using Greek yogurt here so that there's very less water content. If you're using normal yogurt, you might choose to get hard curd from it and then use it. And I'm using 75 grams of cooking oil. Now you can use either vegetable or sunflower oil. I'm using sunflower oil here. And I'm using 75 grams of salted butter, which I have melted. Now if you're using unsalted butter, then add 1/4 teaspoon of salt to it. 1 cup of granulated sugar, which I have powdered. Now if you want really sweet, you could go like 1 1/4 cup of sugar, but 1 cup should be good for a 7-inch cake. And I'm using 1 1/4 cup of plain flour, and to that we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 1/4 spoon of baking powder. And we need the vanilla essence. So with that, we are ready to make the batter. So let's begin. And so the first step is we are going to take the yogurt in our mixing bowl. And I'm going to add the sugar. Now for sugar, I'm going to add it in 2 parts. So I'll add half of it. Then I'll just lightly fold it in. Now that it looks well combined, I am gonna go in with the rest of the sugar. Now I'm again gonna lightly fold it in. And when you can't see any more loose sugar, you can then start whipping it. So I'm gonna whip it at medium-low speed for about 2 minutes now. So I have setting till 0 to 5 and I'm keeping it at 2. Now that we have combined the yogurt and sugar together, we are now going to incorporate our fats into this. So I'm first adding the cooking oil into it. Again, I'm going to incorporate this in at medium-low speed. And now that the oil is nicely mixed in, I'm going to add the butter to it. I'm going to incorporate this in at medium-low speed, and I'm going to whip it again for roughly about 2 to 3 minutes. And the reason we're using oil and butter in 1:1 ratio is that if you're using just butter and if you want to consume your cake over a few days, then your cake will start to stiffen a bit, and if you add a bit of oil to it, it will keep your cake nice and fluffy. And now before we start adding the flour into the batter, now would be a good time to preheat your ovens. So you're going to set your ovens to preheat for 20 minutes at 170 degrees centigrade and in fan mode. And because we are making eggless sponge cakes, it's really important to preheat your oven for the entire 20 minutes duration. So I'm now going to go and set my oven to preheat. Right, now so as our oven preheats, we can start adding the flour into the batter. So what I'll first do is I'll take the flour and I'll add the corn flour to it, and in goes the baking soda and the baking powder. And I'm gonna take a dry spoon and just give it a slight mix so that it spreads evenly. Place a sieve on top of the mixing bowl, and I'm gonna add half of the quantity of the flour that I have taken. So this is now flour, corn flour, baking soda and baking powder all mixed in together. So these are all your dry ingredients together, and now I'm gonna slightly tap it and sieve it through into the mixing bowl. Once it's all sieved through nicely, we will go back into folding it into our batter. So first I'm gonna take a spatula like this, and I'm gonna slightly fold this in before I use my hand whip. For just about half a minute at medium-low speed. Right now that's beautifully incorporated, so I'm gonna keep my hand whip away now. We're not gonna need it anymore. I'll bring back my sieve, and this time I'm gonna add the remaining flour. And again, I'll slightly tap it and sieve it through. And once it's nicely sieved through, I'm gonna take my spatula and I'm gonna fold this in. One tablespoon of vanilla essence, now again we are gonna incorporate it into our batter. So nice and slow, just fold it in. Perfect, beautiful. So we have got beautiful folding curls and our batter is now ready. So we can now set it aside and prepare our baking tray. So you can either use oil or butter. Grease your baking tray, and I'm using a bit of melted butter here. Make sure you grease the sides as well. So we're going to pour the batter into it. Now that the baking tray is filled with the batter, we are going to give it a slight swirl. I'm going to give it a slight tap. If you're wondering what's the right level to fill your baking tray with the batter, it's about half to 3/4 full. So this is a nice level here. So our baking tray is filled with the batter and it's ready to go into the oven for baking. And now we are going to bake it in a preheated oven for 30 minutes at 170 degrees centigrade and in fan mode. So let's go into the kitchen and put this sponge cake for baking. So I'm going to place the baking tray right at the middle of the oven so that the cake bakes really nicely. That brings us to the end of this video. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it. And only remember to hit that subscribe button if you have not already subscribed to our channel. If you're already subscribed, then you don't need to worry about it. And if you have any comments or any cakes that you want me to cover, then leave it in the comments below and share it with your friends and family so that they can make their own vanilla sponge cake, eggless version at home. And until next time, take care.